What's going on, guys? I'm Maze, here with my review on the latest Pokemon Sun and Moon anime episode. Episode 89, Prism of Light and Darkness. Its name is Necrozma. With that title now said though, get relaxed everybody, as I will now jump right into this episode review. So the episode begins off where the previous episode ended, which was Lunala becoming fully healed thanks to the power of Z energy coming from the Z move users, and it now decides to try and break free out of its room to try and rescue Nebby. But then the Ultra Guardians calm it down first and insist they come along, as of course they want to save its friend too. Luzmine, meanwhile, doesn't want the Ultra Guardians getting lost in Ultra Space, but Gladion and Lily reassure her that they'll be fine, and even reference back to the Nilego story, which I quite liked. So then Luzmine gives in, and we get an epic shot of our gang going to their right Pokemon, to then travel through an Ultra Wormhole Lunala makes, to go find Nebby and Necrozma. It's seeming like it knew where both of them were. Meanwhile though, Team Rocket are in the distance, watching this Ultra Wormhole get made, and now prepared to embark to go to Ultra Space too. However, Kukui's bravery then damages their ship in an epic way, and Team Rocket are forced to battle him and Faber. This being planned once Ash and his friends left, as their new Team Rocket would still be lurking by. One thing I have to say now though, is that I love how Kukui and Faber get a big role like this. I even made a woo voice when I saw the attack start. Going back to our Ultra Guardians though, they arrive in a world with barely any life and light. But Poipole somehow feels extremely happy, but this soon gets explained when the Ultra Guardians get attacked by wild Poipole. But soon, after Poipole assures the Ultra Guardians are good guys, a hurt Naganadel comes out, which the Ultra Guardians couldn't ignore, so they go to heal it, while Lunala goes off to battle Necrozma. After Naganadel gets healed, it's revealed to have telepathy. Oh man, how unique. Unlike others though, I don't really mind. I'm used to legendaries being able to talk, thanks to like 19 odd movies of legendaries being able to do so. And yes, it isn't exactly a legendary, but it's kind of one. Anyway, Naganadel then reveals what we have been waiting to hear for a very long time, which is that it's related to Poipole, and Poipole got sent out to try and find a new home for the Poipole and Naganadel to live, due to their world becoming dead essentially. Once Ultra Necrozma, who was a good guy, saved the Poipole from a big ass meteor that was gonna kill everybody. Ultimately though, it lost its full power and becomes normal form Necrozma, then sleeping for Arceus knows how long, until it wakes up one day to try and absorb Solgaleo's and Lunala's power, so it can retrieve its true form once again. I even believe it got engulfed in a bit of darkness. I'm not too sure about that part, but it's definitely understandable for the story regardless, and very pleasing to me. Naganadel then pleading to the Ultra Guardians, once learning that they want to rescue Nebby, to not fully defeat Necrozma, as now that Necrozma returned to their world, they wanted to become its true form once again and bring life back. So, of course the Ultra Guardians agree to this, with Gladion being a bit hesitant at times, but he soon gives in, and Ash then comes up with a plan for everybody to then use Z-moves on Duskmane Necrozma to infuse Nebby, and then use everybody's C energy to make it become Ultra Necrozma once again. This being the story behind the festival I discussed in episode 87's review too, which is great that it relates back to that. The Foundation even found this out for themselves back in Alola. In between these scenes we got to see though, we get to see Gozu, a Team Rocket member, bring out his awesome dog tag Keystone and Mega Evolve his Aggron to defeat Faber and Kukui's Pokemon, which indeed he did, in one hit too. That's amazing, and I love how Team Rocket have a Mega Pokemon on them. Makes Giovanni look a bit weak though at the same time. Kukui though, you're definitely gonna have to use your secret Z-Ring and Z-moves in order to defeat this Mega Pokemon. And that pretty much wraps it up for this episode. It ended off with that Z-move combo scene like I stated, but yeah, that's pretty much everything. If you think about it too though, Ash's plan to give Z energy to Necrozma even relates back to how Lunala got healed, that now making even more sense thanks to that given festival, the Manalo festival it's called overall. So that definitely fixes the issue with the previous episode ending. I just hope the adults feeling down instead of the kids gets explained in the next episode, which would fix the other issue we had with them previous episodes. Somehow though, I beg to differ. Anyway, with that story now said though, let's now move on to my overall thoughts regarding this episode. Firstly for the story, my god, story was jam-packed all over the place in this episode. This episode focusing more on story, whereas the previous one gave us more action, and the one before that build up for this arc. Which I might as well mention for this review, that I find those transitions to be superb. It just feels so right for this arc. The final episode for this arc though, is bound to be a mix of both action and story, which I already know that will definitely feel like a satisfying ending. So there's point 1 to this episode already, people. The transition to action to story just felt so fulfilling. Talking about fulfilling aspects too, because this episode did focus more on the story, it was also very fulfilling to finally learn everything, aka Necrozma's true intentions, Poipole's role in this arc, and what happened to its home world. All of this being impressive and smashing, aka wonderful storytelling as I've shown through my reactions. But to give more on that, I really like how Necrozma is still the good guy in all of this. Poipole's homeworld story, which relates back to Necrozma as well, definitely was more exciting than the story I thought it would be, that I explained in my preview breakdown for this episode. And finally, the festival, which I thought would be useless, is coming back for a good kind of role in the next episode, aka everybody trying to share their Z energy to Necrozma so it can become its true form once again. So yeah, overall, once again, this was a delightful story that the writers were telling us. Me even preferring this over my multiple theories I made on this channel of what Necrozma's role could be in this arc. So of course, I'm not sad about that. But hey, it was still fun to make those theories too. It's all about having fun while making content, you know? But with those brilliant story aspects now stated though, I now have to unfortunately state some disappointments I had with this episode too. Which I'm gonna start that off by saying that I don't like Poipole's story. As in its actual character's purpose, not its homeworld story. That's the good part. But yeah, I feel like we should have gotten more, I guess, from Poipole's character. All it needed to do was find a new home for the Poipoles and Naganadel to live. Which I will admit, that does explain the whole Poipole has a heavy burden, almost like it has a mission to carry out, like Mina stated, so that's good build up before this Necrozma arc began. But I don't know, I just don't like that its only purpose was to find a home. And I also don't like how it didn't even try to travel back to its home world to bring its family back to Alola. But I guess that kinda makes sense at the same time too, as maybe Poipole feeling sad after having that dream back in episode 84 was to show that it doesn't have any way to return home to its family. And it definitely did get distracted from its mission because it was too busy falling in love, I guess you could say, who knows, with Pikachu and having fun with Ash and his friends. Poipole does act like a little kid too. And that's another thing I don't like about his character actually. At first I was like, aw, that's cute. Aw, that's nice that he's having fun. But then it just got annoying for me. Am I the only one who thinks this? I hope not. And I really hope that if Poipole isn't to get released, which it is highly likely that it might not due to these shots of Poipole looking happy waving to Naganadel in a restored version of its homeworld, this suggesting that it decided to stay with Ash. Anyway, I hope that we can get actual somewhat development for this Pokemon, which is that it starts to mature more and grow up. Knowing that it can't act like a kid forever maybe, and then I guess compete in cool battles for the rest of the series, as I definitely wanted to see that ever since Ash captured this Pokemon too. It only ever battled in episode 84. Making Poipole evolve too to show its growth and maturity as a character will be the cherry on top of this cake. I definitely feel like all of this combined would make me start to admire Poipole's character more. Anyway, I got a bit sidetracked there. But the point is regarding its mission story is that I guess I hope to see more from it. The opening didn't exactly help where it made like it would have such a big role in this arc too, when in reality, it's kinda small compared to other characters in my opinion. It was so brushed off in this episode too. The Naganadel was like, oh yeah, this little one had a mission. But it doesn't matter now, Necrozma is here. I swear I don't hate Poipole, it's just I have issues with its character which makes me not like it as much as other people and even other characters in this anime. But, moving on from Poipole before I trigger even more people, I really do hope you guys can respect my opinion though. Anyway, the next disappointing factor for this episode was Team Rocket. Now, yes, the very short Mega Aggron battle was nice, and we're bound to see more of that in the next episode. But guys, the next episode is the final part of this Necrozma arc, and possibly the Ultra Guardian arc as a whole, if we are not to see the 3 remaining Ultra Beasts return, which makes this highly cool Team Rocket the anime introduced feel so useless than forced, as all they did was basically fail to catch Necrozma, and they were even feeling down during that time period, which wasn't really very exciting to watch. And then, finally, we have this battle against Kukui and Faber. Nothing else. Unless they put a big surprise towards the end. However, I beg to differ now, especially when the Team Rocket trio themselves have shown in the next episode to help give Necrozma power. So that's kinda lame to me that we only really get this battle being the cool moments from this special Team Rocket unit. So much potential just gone to waste basically. If we happen to get Rainbow Rocket somehow in this anime though, then I guess that makes up for their lackluster appearance here. Mega Aggron though, and that battle, it's Gucci, just, it's the only thing, you know, That concludes it for the disappointments though. And wow, it's been quite a while since I pointed out flaws in episodes, as I grew to love each Sun and Moon episode more than the previous one, if you guys couldn't tell already. But of course, I want this review to be as fair as possible, and as always, it's just my personal opinions. To finish off the story section though, I want to quickly point out that the news video I made on the next episode has incorrect information now, as I thought everybody would be fighting Ultra Necrozma, not trying to revive it to that form. So please bear that in mind. I guess I should have asked a Japanese person before the subtitles came out what happened in this episode. But hey, we all make mistakes. And with that said, I can now say that it looks like the legendary sea moves Ash and Gladion will be using will be to help Necrozma, not damage it, giving legendary Z power. Unless the Team Rocket units somehow make it to this world and try and attack Necrozma, but then Ash and Gladion destroy them in one hit, which would be alright I guess, but again Team Rocket would have felt useless as it feels a bit too late now, you know? So yeah. But overall, this next episode looks great, and this episode, despite having flaws for me personally, I still had a hype-inducing time watching. And let's now end off this episode's aspects by highlighting the best animation and music aspects. Firstly, for the animation, I like the camouflage effect on the Team Rocket ship. The Mega Aggron evolution scene was so much eye candy. The little scenes we got to see of Necrozma attacking were quite lovely to witness. The Z-move combo scene was amazing, once again, and finally the background detail for Poipole's world fits very well, looking sharp and sweet. As for the music aspects, every single time the Necrozma theme played, it was so exhilarating to listen to, and everything else pretty much just fits so perfectly, the music once again being one of the best aspects about this episode. With that said though, that concludes all the sections for this review. So all that's left is to give a rating for this episode, which I'm going to give it a great rating. Sure, I spent a lot of time pointing out flaws with this episode, but I can't deny the fact that this episode was still entertaining for me to watch thanks to that small action and the very satisfying conclusion to learning all these story elements. Plus, if you do think about it more, I was speaking about Poipole's character as a whole for most of Poipole's story flaw, so that's more of a character review instead of an episode review. So that would have been a bit stupid if I downgraded this episode review just for one character build up. But my god, this episode still had me jumping up and down and screaming at my computer screen in excitement at times. I would suggest you definitely watch this episode if you haven't already. However, if you have seen this episode, then do let me know in the comments down below what you thought of this episode though. I'd love to hear. As now, that concludes it for this review. So everybody, if you enjoyed this video, then be sure to consider leaving a like and a subscribe for future Pokemon content. It helps out a ton. You'll also become a member of the Entity Squad. For now, this is Entity Maze, signing out. Thank you for watching.